Hello again. We finished the last video by creating this end panel. Now the base of the toolbox obviously needs another one at this end. We could use the exact same techniques and draw it again. It would take you a couple of minutes. Now you're familiar with the process, but there is an easier way, and it's this mirror tool here. It does what you'd expect a mirror to do. It creates a copy of a part, but you need a surface to reflect it around. You need the mirror itself, so we're going to create one. To do that, we're going to insert a plane. So I'll click this plane tool, and I want a mid plane. So that's already selected here. Yours may not be. You probably are sitting on offset if you've never used this before. So we're doing a mid plane. Now you have to choose entities. So entities are just things, and you have to choose two things that the mirror plane will sit in between. So I'm going to choose this end of the toolbox, and I'll turn it around and select the other end. And that has created this plane here now. A bit hard to see, but there is a new little blue plane sitting halfway in between those two ends, which is great. That's what we want. So I'll click the green tick. Alright, let's use the mirror command. So I'll click this tool, and it's saying entities to mirror. Entities are just things. So what do I want to mirror? It's this panel here, this end panel. So I could click it here, or I could click it down here in the parts list. So I'll do that. And now it's wanting the mirror plane. So I have to click here to tell it that that's what I'm about to select. And now I can select that new little plane that I've put in here. And there we go. Now that I've selected that, it's already gone ahead and created the new version of that end panel. Easy as. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Now, a few things to tidy up. I have been lazy and I have not named all of these steps that I've done. So I'm going to do that now. Let's call this one the end panel top flange. Let's call this one the end panel return. The plane one, well, do we even really need to rename this one? I'll just throw in the term mid plane there. Mirror one. Let's just we'll call this end panel mirror. Alright, now we've got two more parts here that we haven't named. So the first one will be called our end panel. Now to tell us that this one is, it's an end panel, but it's the mirrored version, I am going to rename it end panel mirror, so that I know if I want to edit something about these end panels, I would edit this one, not this one. Because if I edit this one, any changes will be reflected in the other one as well. Alright, so that is the base of the toolbox done. Looks pretty good to me. Now, we need to make a drawing from this, because we can't take this 3D model into the workshop and build it. We actually need some flat patterns. So let's have a look. I'll click the flat view here, this flat view button on the right. Let's see what we've got to work with. We've already looked at this one, and it still looks fine. So let's now look at one of the other objects, the base end sheet metal. And here it is. You can see there are two of them, but you can see also that it's got the corner notches cut out, it's got the bend lines shown, and this little thing here, which is a bend relief, that just makes it easier to bend without tearing the metal. We've got different ways of doing that in the metalwork room. It won't look exactly like that, but it's pretty close. So that's good. Let's close the flat pattern. Alright, before we can create our drawing, we need to obtain our drawing template. So I'm going to click the Onshape homepage now, and I'm going to click on public, and this is where you can find a whole lot of documents that have been shared by various users. I'm going to search for UHS template, and you can see here is my drawing template here. So if you open this up, this is going to be the sheet layout with a title block down here that you're going to do your drawings in. Now, because this is my own file, I can edit it here. When you open it, it'll be a read-only or a view-only document, and there'll be a little blue button over here that says make a copy. So you'll need to click that to make your own copy of this document, and then it will sit within your own list of documents in the owned by me section. So I've got it here because it's my drawing. You can do the same thing for you. So back to the toolbox document now. Alright, so now that we have our drawing template, we can click insert a new tab here, create drawing. And now we're going to choose our template. We have to choose a drawing template. So now you'll be able to click owned by me and click, yours will be in owned by me, and there I'm selecting the template. Alright, so I'm in the drawing workspace now. So here's our sheet of paper that would come out of a printer. You can see it's got a border and it's got some it's got a title block at the bottom of the page. So now we're going to bring in some parts. So the first part I'm going to bring in is a flat pattern. So let's click flat pattern here, and I'm going to choose the flat pattern of the base body. We have to choose a scale. Now at the moment it's automatically gone to a scale of 1 to 5, but we can fit a way bigger view in this sheet than that. So let's change that. Let's see how 1 to 2 looks. That'll be good. So I'll place that somewhere in the middle of the sheet. Alright. Now it's trying to get me to place another view over here. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to hit escape on the keyboard. Alright. Now let's have a look at what we have. If I zoom in, you can see all of these little instructions where it says up 90 degrees, R 1.5 or radius 1.5. Those are bend instructions. Now those are useful. They tell a person looking at the drawing how to actually make this. In other words, along this line we bend the metal up 90 degrees, and that's the bend radius, but it's cluttering up our drawing at the moment. I don't want them there. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go show or hide, hide the bend notes, hide the bend notes there. Right, excellent. Let's put some dimensions in now. So I will press D on the keyboard or click the dimension button here, and I'm going to start putting in some dimensions. So first of all, let's put in the overall size of the sheet. So I'll click that line at the top, click the line at the bottom, and then drag my dimension out. Let's do the other direction now. So we'll go from the left to right, and I'll drag that down. Let's move the sheet a little bit. Notice how the numbers can be slid left or right, but they will snap to the center just to make things look neat. There we go. Now I need to put in the rest of my dimensions. So I'll take the bottom edge as basically my datum, and I'll take all the other vertical dimensions from that. So let's start putting them in. We'll go from the bottom to this line. It's going to be 9 and a bit millimeters. We'll go from there to here, or to this bend line actually. Alright. Now technically this is not at the same height as this, but for the purposes of our toolbox that's close enough. The distance between here and here is 0.7 millimeters. We're not going to worry about that, and we're just going to pretend that dimension doesn't exist, and we're going to, for the sake of our toolbox, we can make this edge at this point here at that height, and that'll be just fine. Alright, so let's stick some more dimensions in now. I'll go from this bend line here to the bottom, and from the other one to the bottom. So here to the bottom. There we go. I think that's all of the vertical dimensions that we need. suppose we could dimension these parts here, but look, it's a fair assumption to make that this is a symmetrical part. You could put that information in if you wish. Let's dimension this side here. So I'm going to go from here to here. And there we are. Very good. So that's that part, that's that drawing complete. Let's just check that this is all right here. So this is not really correct down the bottom in the title block. It's picked up the wrong bit of information. The project is not the base body, that's really the part name. So I'm going to add a note down here, and I'm just going to say base body flat pattern. And that looks horrible because I haven't created enough space, so I'll grab this little handle here and pull that out. There we go. And hit the tick. Now over here, I can click the base body and edit that. So let's delete that, and I will say the project is the year 10 toolbox. Alright, hit the tick. That's much better. You can see it's automatically picking up my name. It's picking up the scale, and it's saying that this is sheet 1 of 1 because this is the only one we've made so far. So let's make another sheet. To do that, we click this little button here to have a look at all of the sheets, or one of them so far, and we'll create a new one. Insert a sheet, and we can close this now. Let's stick in another part. So we'll insert a view. We're going to have a look here at the part studio. That's where we actually made our toolbox bits. No, that's not what we want to do. I'm going to click insert. That's better. Now we'll find the flat pattern of the end panel. I must not have chosen a flat pattern. Yeah, I chose the end panel. So let's choose the flat pattern of the end panel. Okay, and again, that scale is inappropriate, so we can easily fit this full scale, 1:1 scale, on an A3 page. And there we are. Now, it's worth noting that down in the bottom of the screen, it has noted that that's the scale that I brought that part in at scale 1:1, and it's now saying sheet 2 of 2. Okay, so as before, well, you could keep those bend notes there, they're not really doing any harm. I'll pop in some dimensions. Let's go to the width now, and I'll put that at the top. Let's dimension up these little parts here. We'll go the height here, and this should match the heights that were on our previous sheet, because we created these flanges using the exact same procedure and the same dimensions. So those dimensions, I'm pretty sure, will match the ones that we've just done. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, and the width there. Alright, is there anything else we need to dimension on that? I don't think so. So I'm going to call that good. So that's how you go about creating drawing sheets. You can also create a drawing of the overall project. So let's see if we can do that now. I'm not creating a new drawing. I should be in the sheets. Let's go here, insert another sheet, and we'll insert a view. So we can pick from the part studio if we want. We can pick this whole object. Alright, so this is giving us the front view of the whole base of the toolbox. And again, that's not really a great scale. Let's go 1:2, that's more appropriate. So this will be the front view. And now this is where the different views become interesting. Now I can move up, and that's a projected top view. So we've got the front view here, and we've got the top view here. We need another view though. So let's pick a projected view. And we need to look at this thing from the end. So I'll click the front view and click projected view. And now I should be able to do this end view, and I can. And there we are, that looks pretty good. If you want to get extra fancy, you could put a little isometric view up in the corner. Not really quite enough room for that there. So what I'll do is I'll click it, and then I will double click on it, and then I can change the scale of this guy right here. So let's have a go. Let's make that one a bit smaller. I'll make it 1:4. Beautiful. Click the green tick, and you can see it's put a little scale note there just to show that that is in fact not the same scale as the rest of the drawing. And you could insert dimensions there, and you should also label those views, so front view, top view, and right end view. Tidy up the title block, and your drawings are looking good. That'll be the end of this video.